Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Rock LA Inc. YouTube channel. This channel was created to further reach an audience of the voiceless. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We are a shelter for women and children ages 0 through 13 for victims of domestic violence, trafficking, homelessness, and release from jail. To check out more information about our organization, you may visit our website at www.therocklainc.org. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and X at The Rock LA Inc. We also welcome donations by Cash App at $The Rock LA Inc., and you may also donate on our website listed above.
Hi, my name is Olivia Carter. I am the president, CEO, founder of the Rock LA nonprofit organization for domestic violence, trafficking, homeless, and release from prison.
Hello, I'm Katrina Smith. I'm the vice president of the Rock LA. The Rock LA is 1 year and 3 months old now.
Yes, the Rock LA was formed 2 years and 1 month. And I just thank the Lord. Ain't nobody but the Lord that did this. He gave me this vision. Coming up from the streets, coming out the Ville. I originally from Cicely Island, Louisiana. I was born and raised in a house. I had a midwife, and coming up in a little old small country. Back then, that's where we, used to have straw boards, share a piece, and share with each other. And my great-grandfather, Mr. Smith Carter, he is the one that raised me. And I thank the Lord for that, man, because he told me, head, you keep the Lord first, and when you be grown, you not gonna depend on a man. And I thank the Lord for my great grandfather, because had it not been for him and the Lord on my side, I don't know where I'd be at today. I'm really a living testimony. And coming out of Cicely Island, Louisiana, it's a small country town. That's back then they used to have slaves and clean houses, and it's a lot that went on in that little old city. You can look it up for yourself. How they had plantation. My great grandfather, Mr. Paul Pinckney, he owned the land until a depression came, and that's when the European came in. They came in and they took the property for $2, and he used to borrow against the land to provide for his family. But I thank the Lord for Lady Love River is named after my great grandmother. So I just thank the Lord, and God is so good, and that's why I can relate to domestic violence, trafficking, homeless, and release from prison. Domestic violence, I saw my aunties, my mother being abused mentally and physically, and I used to see a lot of things go on. But my great grandfather, he was pulling me this way with the Lord, and then with my mom, I was pulled this way, and with my family, some of the women that's in my family, I was pulled towards this way, and I was like, Lord have mercy. So I said, when I get grown, I'm not gonna go through it. But yes, I did go down that path. I went down that path, and I ended up with my first my children with Andre father. He was a good man, but he was a whoremonger. Okay, my second set of children, he was mentally and physically abused. I ended up having miscarriage, losing babies. I lost like 5 babies. I thought by a man beating on you, I thought that was love, but it's not love. Somebody beating on you and hitting on you, slapping you, spitting on you, using you, mistreating you, because I ended up violence. I ended up putting my hands on him first, and then that's when he started, hit me back, and I'm thinking that's love. Just watching my mother being abused, and I said, Lord, and once I found out, and I ended up, going back to the Lord, going back to church, and get myself right with the Lord, because we all have fell off that path with the Lord, and putting people first. But that's the biggest mistake you could ever make, is putting somebody before God. And I just thank the Lord for helping me and leading me and guiding me and helping me get back right. He said, I'll never leave you nor forsake you. And he said, I never seen the righteous forsaken, neither begging bread. So I thank the Lord, I am a living testimony. And then I had another set of children, my last, I ended up married for 14 years. I ended up married mentally and physical abuse, but I could have been San Gabriel right now because I wasn't going to take no butt whooping. So I ended up stabbing and, my children saw some of these things, and we see why childhood trauma, because children could be trauma seeing their mother and father fighting, especially in a marriage. It's a different in a relationship and than it is in a marriage. It really is a big difference. So I just thank the Lord for sitting here today and to be able to tell my testimony. And trafficking, I used to be pimping, getting money out of men's because I had to provide for my sisters and my brothers. I didn't want them, because we used to get made fun of in school, by me being in special education. And, my brother had a problem by being mental and physical abused. He used to use it over himself. And we all used to sleep together in bundles, and it used to be so cold. And I used to just pray and cry and like, Lord, just help me. So when I become grown, I'm going to be able to help with my sisters and help with my brothers. And that's why right today I have OCD and I have it real bad, but by being mentally and physically abused, And I just thank the Lord for keeping me in my right mind and taking care of my sisters and taking care of my brothers, because especially when a city and you little old children, and a lot of people didn't like our mother, so they took it out on us, mentally and physically. And we got treated real bad. We got treated worse than animals. I've seen people love animals, more than they love a human being, So I just thank the Lord for giving me the strength, the wisdom, the knowledge, understanding. I don't care who you are. Don't never give up on God. I am a living testimony to sit here to be able to tell you my story today. I am a living testimony. So there's domestic violence, there's trafficking, there's homelessness. I end up in Brentwood Mental Institution. I could relate to that. And I met a guy in there, and he told me, he said, "You're not crazy." I said, "I know I'm not." But my mother had lied and made a statement that I'm going to blow her house up. So I end up in Brentwood and Shreveport. The only way she could get some back pay of the money of the Social Security office is that she had to lie, and I had to be in the institution. So I met this guy, not knowing the guy had HIV. So I ended up moving in Minden, Louisiana. I moved to Minden on West Street, and his name was Lloyd, and there was Twin and George. So they they called me and say, I'll never forget that number, 318-377-1357. And it was on West Street in Minden. And he gave me his number while I was in Brentwood. And I helped him and spoke life into him, and he started laughing and talking. So I ended up being on West Street in Minden, Louisiana. And Lord, he had AIDS. And I ended up moving in with them. And I knew I used to smell a fume, and he had want to sleep with me, but I said, no, because my mindset went on there, and I wasn't going to do it no way, because he wasn't my type of tea. So he ended up putting me out the house, and I had to move to Southern Inn Hotel in Minden, Louisiana. I moved in Southern Inn Hotel, and I stayed there 2 weeks. And my godmother, Sherry, she took me in. She said, "Baby, you could come stay with me." But the Holy Ghost had told me, because he used to stay sick all the time, and the Holy Ghost told me that he had HIV. I said, "Oh my God!" Then on top of that, he had colon cancer, but he just told me he had colon cancer. He didn't mention that he had AIDS. So he had AIDS, and what happened was he ended up putting me out. I stayed at Southern Hotel 2 weeks, and then I ended up moving with Sherry, and then that's when I ended up meeting this guy, my ex-husband. and me and my ex-husband ended up getting married.